All right, we'll start off with a prayer to the Heavenly Father, the creator of all that is. Thank you for this beautiful day, and thank you for connecting our hearts together to learn and to become open and one with all things. Help us to take this knowledge that we're receiving and really truly look in within ourselves for our own answers so that we can walk a good path and become a hollow bone for you. We ask for the health of all things, and we ask that you remove all hatred out of people's hearts and replace it with love and harmony so that we can live on a peaceful earth. Please help the ones that are sick to get well, the ones that have the depression. Please send somebody their way to bring their vibration up so that they can feel themselves in a better light and know that they're important and that they play a part of this world just as we do. Just send out as much love rays as we can have today. So we thank you for all that it is. I hope.
Oh. Intro song?
Yes, this song I thought was so cute.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I woke up this morning on my horizon. 3 little birds were on my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melody blowing true. And they said, this message is you. They said, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
So adorable. Let me find.
So I just thought that was just perfect for
Hi,
today.
Mary.
Stop. There we go.
So that all of us know that everything's gonna be okay as long as we get out of our heads, get out of that stinking thinking and move forward and realize that we're in cycle patterns and the energy always has to change. Energy never stands still, it's always moving. So if you have a time when you're feeling down and low or sick, you know, we tend to, in our head, have all the thoughts about, this is horrible. I'm never going to get out of this. You know, just all these thoughts come in your mind because, you know, your emotions are attached to how you feel. And they're going to pop in your mind. So always remember that. These things will change. They can't stay the same because energy moves. So you're just in a pattern that is a little bit lower vibration than what you're used to. And the way you can balance it up better is to bring some type of song, music, instrument, you know, even your own self singing to raise that vibration so that you come up in a better balance in your third eye and in your mind area, which we're going to talk about today. And as you can see, this picture is quite interesting because all the other chakras, you know, have many petals on it. This only has 2. And these petals are white, actually. That's why it's hard to really see. You can't see white when you're coloring white. But they're white. And it's interesting what they're going to do. But before I get started in that, does everybody know where the third eye is located at? All right, yes, it's right located in between your eyebrows. And what it does is when it's open, it'll bring perception, awareness, and spiritual communication to you when it's open. Okay. It provides a lot of wisdom and insight into your heart. That's where your intuition comes, when you just know what you know, what you know. That's come from your third eye being connected. And a lot of people have asked me, you know, through the years, well, how do I know if my third eye is open? You will definitely know when your third eye is open, but we will discuss that in the class today. But back to the 2 petals. I'm trying to find that on the paperwork here, because I thought it was very important. One actually works on the left side of your brain, and the other one works on the right side of your brain. And one manifests, brings manifestation, and the other one is where your unmanifested thoughts are. So the better way to explain it is, one holds all your emotions that are just roaming around in your head, not doing nothing, maybe causing you some problems. But then when it switches to the other petal, it starts manifesting. Okay, so this could manifest sickness, depression, love, happiness. It just depends on what vibration you're going to allow come through that petal. And remember when I was telling you, when the male and female energy rises in your body, there's only 3 places that it connects to within your body. You know, it starts at your root chakra, and then it connects and goes through your heart, and it connects in your third eye. So it's actually traveling, you know, through your third eye. So depending on if you're going to let it be a positive action or a negative action, that's what you're going to get. But that's how you can change it, is when you're recognizing that when it's coming through. So that's what the petals do. One manifests, and the other one holds all the emotional things that are coming through your body. As you also notice, there's a triangle there, upside down triangle. And y'all have learned from the other ones that the triangle, do y'all remember what the triangle represents in the other chakras? Well, this one represents and is where the wisdom comes from inside that. Once you get everything balanced, it will bring in the wisdom and your connection to divine spirit and your spiritual self and soul, and the true enlightenment that we're all seeking. And what is really funny is when you do get that connection, that part right there actually sends energy, and is the only chakra that connects to your auric field. Okay, and that's very important to understand, because what is your auric? You know, your auric field, we haven't really got into that, but there's different layers of your auric field, but each layer has a color to it. And the triangle part of your third eye connects to all those dimensional levels of your auric field. And that's how you get the information coming in if you're sick, if you're well, if you're depressed. That's how it's coming into your body, so that, and it actually hits your pituitary gland and your pineal gland to send that information. So we're really unique the way Creator made us. You know, we're a very unique little computer system, because this energy has to reach those two glands, and then those glands send out a vibration into your five senses, and then the five senses filter it through to your body, into the chakras. So it's really quite interesting how it all works. Now, the element that is associated with this, you know, each chakra has an element that's associated with it. The element for this is light, pure consciousness light, the light of God. That's the element that is associated with this chakra. And the way you develop this light so that it shines really bright within you is through meditation. You have definitely got to meditate to bring this light, to make this light grow bigger within you. And when it starts growing, that's when you start getting the ability to see what's inside yourself and see what's really truly happening with inside yourself, and how to fix it. A lot of people don't realize that, and when they're meditating and working on the third eye, they're actually having visions, which which will take you to a totally different place outside. You could be sitting on top of a mountain, seeing the eagle fly. Okay, and that's quite all right to do that, because it can take you outward, but you also need to use the meditation part to bring you inward so that you can heal yourself, because that's the main important thing, is learning to heal yourself. And if you don't never go in and you allow your third eye just to travel you out and show you visions of stuff, then you're not working on yourself, are you? You're only half connected. So always remember that through the meditation, you can go in and work on your body parts. Like if you're having kidney problems, you can focus. And the more you research it, the more you get into it, there's a certain time of the day, and I'm going to use the kidneys for an example. There's a certain time of the day in the astrological sense of where the sun is and the moon in your astrological charts, okay, that during that time, if you're having kidney problems and you meditate during that time, you will be able to heal that part of your body, because it is synchronized to the universal energy pattern. But you have to know that. You have to be able to recognize that. And that's when you come into your own medicine. You know, that's a lot of medicine people know this, you know, but I feel like it should be taught to everybody, because when you're doing this research for yourself, it's to learn about yourself. It's for you to become your own doctor. Physician, heal thyself, you know. So it's very important to understand that you can, if you know the exact times and when the energy is flowing properly, you can heal a lot of things that are happening in your body. Now, does that mean that you will completely be healed? That really depends on how bad and how long it's been happening in your body, because your body does decay. And so your body can take bumps and bruises to the point where it's past the point where it can heal itself. But what you can do is you can prolong the process so it doesn't get any worse. But if you catch it before it gets even to that point, then you'll be able to stay healthy a lot longer and age on into your 90s and hundreds before you cross over. You're also going to learn doing these chakras that the color of the chakras are very important, and this should be invested into your own environment every day, the colors of your chakra and how to use them for yourself, because it's gonna bring strength to you. It's gonna bring health to you, because you can eat the type of foods that for this one it's violet and indigo, the color for the third eye. So if your third eye needs nourishment, then you're going to want to put some type of vegetable or something in that color, like a plum, eggplant. A lot of people don't like eggplant, but all of these things will nourish this chakra, so that it can work properly. So it's very important. And then if you're lacking in the connection of your third eye, if you wear the color purple, violet, indigo, that's going to connect you on that vibrational level for protection, for anything that you need it for. And so it's very important, even necklaces, stones, your crystals. This is why you see a lot of people wearing different stones around their neck, different colors around their neck. Well, they might be working on certain chakras when they're wearing these stones. And the more you learn about yourself and the type of stones that go with each chakra, when you see somebody wearing that, you're going to realize, oh, they're probably wearing that because they're having this issue, and that's why they're wearing it. But what is really interesting is, because you're aware of that, they might not be aware of it, but that could be a connection for you to strike up a conversation and connect with that person to help them along their pathway, because that's how it works. Like-minded energy attracts like-minded energy. And there's always a reason why you meet somebody, but it's up to you to understand, why did I meet this person? What's the connection? What do I need from this person, or what does this person need from me? And but it does work like that, because we're all energy. Everything's energy. And once you start realizing that everything is energy, you're going to remove the labels. You're going to start learning to remove the labels off the energy and just see the energy for what it is. And that's going to be a great help for you, especially on your emotional level, because you're going to see you're going to feel the energy, know the energy, and disconnect it from the emotional path that it had been going on for so long within you, to get you to recognize it. So that's when you're going to be able to tell that you're growing. And each one of us that are in this class right now has come so far in growing, in understanding and stuff. It's amazing. I mean, if you just take the time to look at each one of us by yourself, how much we've grown since we started having these classes, it's just amazing. And you're going to continue to keep growing and learning, and I think we do that until the time we die. When we take our last breath, we leave this dimension, but guess what? We're starting in another totally different dimension, where we're going to know a lot of things. So we're going to keep on learning. So it's an amazing journey that we're on. Now, the sound that goes with this chakra right here is Om. You know, and we talked last week about how important the sound was. How many of y'all have been doing chakra sounds since we started doing the chakras? Have y'all been able to see a difference in how it's making you feel? Good, we'll talk about that when we get into the talking later after class, because I want to hear y'all's experience with it. Okay, like I was telling you, this chakra right here is over the endorphin glands, the pituitary and the pineal gland. And this is going to really, really surprise you. This surprised me. You know, every chakra is over some type of organ or something of your body, right? So we know this one is over the pituitary gland and the pineal gland. But what do those two glands really do? Okay, I wanted to know that myself, so I researched it and was quite shocked to find what I found. But y'all can do your own research. But I'm gonna tell you what I found, and it was quite interesting, and it really took me into some interesting things. But your third eye controls your nervous system and all your nerves in your body. And, you know, because I have diabetes, I have, you know, had problems with neuropathy, or what the doctors say is neuropathy. So when I came across this, I realized that yes, they have a label for it, neuropathy, and it can do other things more worse than neuropathy. But it's actually a signal from your third eye saying, hey, I need attention up here. You need to do some work up here, you know, so that you can balance some things out. And when you do that, you're going to see that some of your nerve pain that you have. And Rodney, I wanted to really like stress this for you, because this might really help you when you have the nerve pains in your hand, in your arm. Okay, because you can go up in meditation at the time of the zodiac, which me and you will have a conversation on the phone about this because it pertains to you. There's a certain time of the day that you could, because I did all the research so I could have all these answers for you, because I just thought when I found that it affected your nervous system, I dove in really deep and learned a lot of stuff. So this can help make those pains lighten up through meditation when you're trying to heal yourself. And you can meditate just on that at certain times of the day to remove that energy of pain from you. Now, is it all going to go away? I can't tell you that, because each one of us is different. But depending on how you work on yourself, you're going to know if it works for you or not. But remember that our bodies, when we first started this, I told you that our emotional self is a new language that's coming into our body, right? To tell us, hey, you need to look at us. You need to look at this. It's important. And so if you miss the emotional part of, hey, look at this, it's going to go into your chakras And your chakras are going to do stuff to your organs and everything, which is still part of the language saying, hey, you need to look at this. Because like when your kidneys get sick, you pay attention to that, don't you? When you have a chest cold, you pay attention to that, don't you? You know, where you could have already had some of the vibrational language coming through you, but you just ignored it. So it's really important to see how your body's working, because we are unique creatures. But when you learn that your third eye controls your nervous system, and if you are having nerve pain, whether it be in your feet, your hands, your back, there's a way to cure that through meditation if it hasn't dwelled in your body to the point where your body cannot restore itself. So any of y'all in this lesson that has that wants to talk more about that, please feel free to call me, you know, so that we can touch on what part is affecting you. And I will let you know the times and the dates and explain to you why you do it at this time of the day and what you will get from it when you do it. Pretty interesting stuff, isn't it? Huh? Okay, now again, female and male energy is all up in the third eye. Manifestation and unmanifestation. That's part of the female and the male energy. You know, it's just called something different. Always be aware that the female energy governs over all your spiritual communication, your awareness, and the perception that you get. Because that's what's going to bring your healing to you. The planet that is associated with this chakra is the sun. I don't think it could have been any other planet other than the sun. And what is the sun? The sun is a fire element. Okay, so this element that is associated with this chakra, though, remember I told you, is the element of light. So think about that. If you have a fire element and it's shooting energy at you, what is it going to create? Going to create some light, isn't it? Going to create some heat. And how many of y'all really, you know, when you've had Reiki done on you or somebody says, oh, I sent you some energy, where do you feel it at first? It comes right to the top of your head, or your third eye comes in. So, you know, I think that's just quite interesting. The more you start focusing on these chakras and looking at how it connects with the universe, you're going to see the universal energy patterns that are working in your body and how you connect to it. And the more you learn how to do that, the better you're going to get within yourself in understanding. These two elements that we've been talking about, okay, are associated with wisdom, because the fire comes from the sun. But they're associated with wisdom, and it also includes the lotus flower. Now, the lotus flower, you know, is a beautiful flower, and we're going to talk about this lotus flower because when we get to the crown chakra, you're actually going to get to see the lotus flower and all the petals that are on top of it and around it, because there's quite a lot. But that's in the next lesson. But see, right now we're learning how to blossom into our lotus flower because we're learning how to, you know, bloom. and understand why we're blooming and what the blooming is all about and how to nurture it and how to bring it so that it can be in full bloom. So pretty awesome stuff. So it's going to include the lotus flower, and it's also going to have a triangle in it. The third eye is known as the gateway. This is the doorway to liberation and freedom. And until you can really truly work on this chakra, you're going to have ups and downs, because this is a chakra that brings in the communication that you need and the world needs to receive all the messages that come from the past and the future. So I want y'all to think about that. All the messages come from the past and the future. But how can we receive these messages of the past and the future? To be able to receive these messages, you have to stay in the present moment and understand, hey, I'm going to meditate about this in the present moment, in stillness, in quietness, which is the present moment. So it all works together. It's quite delicate. It's like a clock. It has a lot of moving parts, and if one little focus is not right, you can be unbalanced. Okay, so a lot of us probably do really truly need to work on this this chakra. So one of the biggest things is to remember what the two petals are, because the two petals, like I said, one manifests, the other one holds all of the unmanifested stuff, which is all your thoughts, all your feelings. It's like the yin and the yang, you know. And when you start learning that, you'll be able to transfer that into manifestation that you need, instead of it being pushed over there, because it does get pushed over there by your feelings. That's why you have to recognize if it's positive or negative feelings that you're reacting to. So the training, like I said, is being the stillness, being in the stillness, so that you can see the future and the past, which is the yin and the yang of everything, really. And the more you can do that, is it positive, negative, you're going to be able to balance yourself so much better. And you're going to be in awe of yourself. Hi, how are you? No, the computer room is down at the very first classroom to the very first one on here. Okay, you're welcome. Have a great day. But always remember the triangle too. We're going to go back to the triangle for a few minutes. It represents the wisdom and the connection to the divine spirit, because when you are in the quiet spot of yourself, being still, you're going to see a white light right here come in, and that's going to tell you that you're in that sacred space of yourself, sitting still. And it's the same thing as going, like I said, down to your heart and getting in your sacred spot. All of that is connected, because you have to be in your heart, because when you're meditating, you're going to bring up all your chakra energy up here into your head. And there's a way to do it, and we'll talk about that too in another class, on how to bring that up, how to bring that energy up, right? Okay, your life force energy is going to lay dormant down at your spine, Okay, so that's down there towards your root chakra, right? And until something activates it. And actually what activates it, remember the 3 3s that I told you from the very beginning of all these lessons, thought, action, reaction. So you're gonna have to move the energy to activate it, right? You gotta have the thought first and then the action. And once you do the action, you're gonna move that energy. And we'll go back to what I just said. When we're meditating, we're going to come up from our root chakra and bring all that energy up to the third eye. Well, that's a thought. And then when you start focusing on it, that's the action, which is going to bring the response, so that you can bring that energy up. But just remember, all of that lays dormant until you decide, hey, I'm going to meditate. Hey, I'm going to work on myself. You know, or when you get mad, it's going to activate, but it's not going to go past your heart chakra. And that's where a lot, I want y'all to really think about this, because we spontaneously respond to things sometimes without thinking about it first, because we've been programmed that way. And so sometimes we get some really bad reactions to what we've responded to, because we didn't stop and think about, well, what's going to happen if I respond this way? But the more you get into here in the balance, you're not going to do that. You're going to stop a minute and let it all come together in a balance before you make that decision. Does that make sense? Okay, and when you start activating it, and you're going to activate it through the practice of meditation and controlling your mindset of positive and negative reactions, you're going to bring in clarity and spiritual consciousness. There's no way that they can't come in, because you're slowing the process down so that you have time to connect to your higher self, so it can come in a more clear way for you to understand. So we're going to go to a blocked chakra. Okay, these are some of the symptoms you'll have if your chakra is not working properly. Headaches. Okay, vision problems, neurological disorders. Yeah, anything to do with nerve pain. Brain disorders, or let's just say depression, schizophrenia, all of that comes from this. Any type of mental depression disorders, self-limiting beliefs. And we've all been put into that at a young age to self-limit ourselves. We're not good enough. We're not good enough to do this. We can't do this. Lack of purpose. If your parents don't give you a chance to say, hey, you're worthy of all things and you can do anything that you set your mind to. If you don't never hear that in life, you do lack, well, what am I supposed to do? What's my next move? I don't know what I'm going to do in life. Well, that's a lack of purpose. So you need to find the lack of purpose. And when you're looking for that lack of purpose, always choose something that you enjoy to do. Okay, you don't want to go out there and choose something that you don't like to do. A lot of us at a young age are told, hey, you need to go out and get a job, right? Because you have to have a job to live, you have to pay rent, you have to do all of this stuff, right? But the biggest things that we weren't told by our parents was to pick a job that we enjoy doing. Because if you pick a job that you enjoy doing, guess what? You're going to have better benefits in your mind and your body. Plus, you're going to enjoy your job. So how many people do you know that don't like their job, but they go to work every day because that's how their money comes in. But in the process of them doing that every day, they're throwing roadblocks with their energy, with their thoughts. God, I hate this job. God, I don't want to be here. I don't, without even realizing it, because we were not taught that. And it's something that's very important for parents to teach the kids that are coming up now, that in the next 4 to 5 years will be going out looking for a job. They need to find a job that they will like. If they like animals, maybe they need to get into the animal field, grooming, pet walking, something that will, benefit them. If they like dancing and singing, then they need to go to a theater, you know, do something that they like, because that's going to make them develop better within themselves than a job that's going to slow them down due to all the obstacles that they place in front of them through their thought process. So there's a lot of things that need to be, addressed in the world. We all know that. But because of us being the elders right now, if we learn this when we get to the younger generation, we can actually start asking the right questions. Well, what do you like to do? And you can actually guide them into getting a better job that is more suited for them, which will help their emotional self be in alignment. Does that make a lot of sense, don't it? So anybody that that has mood disorders or anything like that, it's caused from the chakra not being open or not being addressed properly. Now, if this, and I know each and every single one of y'all have experienced a person like this, there wouldn't be no way, because there's many people out in the world like this. This, your third eye can be open too much. Okay. It can be overactive. That could be the only chakra in your body that's open and the rest of them shut down completely. But if nobody's ever told you that, how are you gonna know that? Okay. If it's overactive, these are the symptoms that it's going to cause. It's going to cause schizophrenia. It's going to cause delusions. It's going to cause nightmares. Anybody that has lots of nightmares, this is their third chakra, a sign that it is overactive and it needs to be, calmed down some. Anybody that has OCD, compulsive disorder. Anorexia it falls in this category too, because they are like stressing, I don't need to eat because I'm too fat. It's an obsession that they're, focusing on too much. Lots and lots of headaches. So if you know anybody that, like, I knew a lady a long time ago, she was born with headaches. And from the time she was a child, she would end up going to the hospital 2 or 3 times a week, and they would have to give her a shot for her headaches because her headaches were just horrific. Well, that's a sign that this chakra is open too wide. And there is a way to to close it down some. We're not going to discuss it. If y'all want to learn how to close a overactive third eye down, then you need to research it for yourself. Not being mean or anything, but we all have to learn in our own ways too. So like I said, I'm going to leave a little bit of stuff out so that y'all can research it yourself. So a balanced third eye You will have beautiful and meaning dreams when your third eye is balanced. You will have a great memory recall, so you won't have brain fog. If you have brain fog, that's another one. That means that goes on the blocked third eye, cause brain fog. Okay, but if it's balanced, you're going to be able to recall a lot of things, and you're going to see a lot of symbols, like, how many people see 111, 333, and see that synchronicity. Be driving down the road and go, oh, I saw that squirrel the other day. It was over here. That's another way to see that your third eye is balanced. When you make plans and you plan things out ahead of time, that is showing that your third eye is making a pattern, a pathway to go through, and it's important to make good plans. When you do that, it also brings a perception of your pattern that you're in. And if y'all don't understand what I mean by that, is through all these lessons that we've been having, have y'all been learning and seeing the different patterns and the way the energy goes through the patterns and the cycles? This is part of what I'm, am talking about this, is you'll start seeing the patterns. The perception of your patterns will become so prominent that you'll be able to see the end of a circle where you went, and that you're at the beginning of that circle again. And when you can say, hey, I'm at the same circle, and boy, I don't want to go back around that circle like that again. And so when you can see that, you can change the direction of the energy and have a different outcome. That shows that your third eye is balanced. Okay. So that's not a lot to show that your third eye is balanced, but that's what it is. And so if you're getting these things, then all you need to do is keep the vibration of your third eye, getting the right type of vibration on a daily basis or a weekly basis to keep it in tune, so that it doesn't get off balance. Of course, just like every other chakra, there's yoga poses that you can do to, keep your body in alignment. And there's really only 3 that I found, and that's the plow pose. Plow, like you're plowing a field. And then the child pose, and the downward dog. And see, Colleen's over here making a face. Some of y'all might be making a face too, by the name of these poses. But if you've never checked into yoga, you're not going to know what the pose looks like. And I'm not going to tell y'all, that's part of y'all's research. I'm just giving you the name, but you can go on Google and put that name in, and it's going to pull you up a design of how to do that yoga position. This a child pose. Okay, we have affirmations, and I think these affirmations really should be done every day, because I thought they were like extremely really good affirmations. And how many of y'all are doing the affirmations as a classwork, like I asked y'all to, for 28 days? Rodney, I don't see your hand up there. I'm ashamed of you. Shame, shame, shame. What about Sherry? I can't see Sherry. Is Sherry doing hers? Because It is important to be doing these.
I need to
Pam, you
find a
there?
link.
Shame on you. All you have to do is go on Google and pull up morning affirmations. Okay, go to YouTube, type it in, morning affirmations. I would like each and every single one of y'all to do that for 28 days. Now, we're already into like almost 2 weeks of doing this, so y'all are behind the times. Susan has a little pass on it because she hasn't been on the program to get this message. But do these affirmations. You're going to see a big difference when you do them. You're going to start within like 5 days of doing the affirmations, which we will talk about in class today. You're going to start feeling things and you're going to start recognizing things. Very important, it's kind of like giving yourself gratitude, So the affirmations for this chakra is, I am open to the truth of the universe. I thought that was really a good affirmation. I am open to the truth of the universe. I love you, Sherry. Okay, the next one is, I am the source of my truth. Okay, because to know yourself, you're going to know your true self. If you work on yourself, you're going to know your true self. My battery's running down in my mouse. The next one is, I am connected to the spirit world. Because look, if you keep telling yourself, I can't meditate, I'm not connected, guess what's going to happen? You're throwing those blocks up there and you're not going to be connected because you're throwing those blocks up there by speaking it out of your mouth that I can't meditate. I'm not connected. And when you do that, you're blocking yourself. So always remember, I am connected to the spiritual world. There's no way to disconnect from the spiritual world because God made us. That is our birthright. Unless we decide to disconnect ourselves, which, because we have not been taught the proper way, we have been very disconnected for a long period of time. But that is changing because people are learning. Okay, the next one is, I see my life's purpose clearly. Now, a lot of people don't see what their life purpose is. And that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. When you start really working on yourself and balancing your chakras and getting in tune with your body and how it's feeling and why you got sick or why this happened, you're going to clear all that up. And before you realize it, you're going to know what your life purpose is. And one of the biggest things that I know for the life purpose is to connect and love. Be love to everything. Be a servant, go out and volunteer. Give back to your community. It starts with yourself, so give back. Don't forget to give to yourself. That's important. Give back to yourself too. Give that love, give that encouragement. But volunteers, start putting smiles on other people's faces, because when you start doing that, you're going to receive an abundance of energy that's amazing. And the more you do that, the more your life purpose is going to come into play, and you're going to wake up one day and go, "Ah, I know what I'm supposed to be doing." And a lot of people that I've met through the years, and I'm sure this happens everywhere, is when they come to sit with you to learn, they think it's going to be an overnight lesson. This is not an overnight lesson. This is something that you're going to learn until the day you take your last breath. You're going to continuously learn and grow. There's no magic. There's no magic in this. You can't just go to a retreat for a weekend and become a master over everything. No, it don't work that way. It works with you working on yourself, and people, like I said, you will know if you watch people and how they walk, not what they talk out of their mouth, because a lot of people can talk some good stuff. Rodney's run into those type of people. I'm sure Elizabeth, every single one of us is running into somebody that can talk a good talk. And and you walked around with them for quite a long time, believing into them, until you realize that they really could only do the talking. They weren't really doing the walking. So always watch how a person walks, because you'll know the truth by their walk. Okay, let's go to the stones and the crystals that help this chakra out. Again, the lapis lupus. We talked about that with the throat chakra. So it also helps the third eye. And remember when we were talking about making a necklace of that for people that have issues with speaking out or that are shy. That's the best necklace to wear around your neck, is a lapis lupus. Because it's going to open up your communication skills. And it's going to give you protection while you're learning to stand strong in what you believe in, and speaking properly. Purple tourmaline. Okay. A lot of people don't realize that tourmaline, a lot of people use tourmaline, black tourmaline, for protection, but tourmaline does come in different colors. So purple or violet tourmaline for this will work wonders. And I would put it next to you while you're meditating. And if you really want to boost it, put it by your nightstand at nighttime when you sleep. Okay. Eating or wearing purple while you're using these crystals is going to amplify the energy to come in better for this chakra. So when you're wearing that, understand that you're getting the vibration of that energy pattern coming in. And see, we'll have a class one day on each day of the week, there's a color vibration that comes in. Okay. And we can break it down into segments on the hours of what color the vibration is. But there's one that is a solid color that stays the whole day. But there's a spectrum like the rainbow that comes in every day at certain times of the day. And if you realize that, you can actually bring that type of energy into your third eye through meditation and awareness, so that your auric field is more protected for the things that people throw at you. but you gotta learn it. You gotta learn it. And one of the reasons why you start learning it is because you realize people are throwing stuff at you. And that you need to be a little bit stronger, and you ask yourself, well, why is this or part of my auric field so weak? What's causing it to weak? Well, if you're not addressing it and feeding it the right vibration, it's going to become weak. It's going to be, and when people throw stuff at you, which they do, some do it intentionally, some do it unconsciously. But when you get upset with somebody, even if you don't speak it out of your mind, if you're thinking it, you could be causing some energy to hit that person. So be very careful with your thoughts, because your thoughts can actually kill a person. Your thoughts can actually have a person have a heart attack, have kidney failure. Yeah, it can cause lots of problems. Now there's oil that goes with this chakra. Lemon oil, lemongrass oil, and sandalwood. I love sandalwood. But it's very interesting, like I'm saying, when you start learning about your chakras and what all they do. If you have not, we've went through 6 chakras already. Our next class is going to be on the 7th chakra, the crown chakra. And if you haven't learned anything, I just know there's no way that you couldn't have learned something about yourself that you didn't know. Unless you really have studied the chakras. And see, we've been told not to do this. Don't go to the chakras, because that's what India does and stuff. But what people got to realize, we are all connected. Everything is connected together. This is in our body. We need to learn this about our body so that we can heal. Doesn't mean that we're studying Indian religion, because they've made this into a religion over there. But we're learning just about our body. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you have somebody tell you, hey, you don't need to be doing that, you'll be able to respond to them in the proper way. Say, hey, I'm learning about myself. What do you know about yourself? Do you know what this does to you? Because you're learning to become your physician so that you can heal yourself. And that's a wonderful, beautiful thing. That you're taking time out of your busy world, out of this busy world, to learn. There's not a lot of people that want to do that right now. So give yourself kudos. I'm very proud of each and every single one of you. I mean, this class could be really, really big, but I really chose, I didn't want it to be big. And, people can go on YouTube and watch it, but we'll have more classes, and I'm sure the class will get big. But then I wouldn't be able to talk to each and every single one of you when it's time for, questions and answering. So when we started this class, I think it turned out to be just perfect with who all's in it and just the right size. And everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. So you never should worry about, what is going on, because if you stay in the present moment, and if you stay connected to your third eye, you're going to be able to see the stumps and the rocks in the road, so that you don't have to go right through them. You can go around them. And it's really amazing things. So that's all on the third eye. I hope y'all liked it. And I want to go into I want to go into questions because y'all have any questions on the third eye? Because after we get through with the questions, I want to go on to the affirmations that we are supposed to have been doing for the past 3 weeks. Susan, I see you got your hand up.
Hi, Shahawan. Thank you very much. I wanted to let everybody know that I've been working on affirmations from another study and workshop that I did. So I'm not really ahead of anybody. I want everybody to know that. The question I had for you was, do you have a recommendation for a book for this chakra study that we're doing?
Actually, there is. Now I can't pull it right off the top of my head, but I have the book at the house. So what I can do is when I get home, I can send you a picture
Okay,
of it and text it to you so that you can, because there's many books out there on the chakras. But I think about 20 years ago, I had come across a book on, I think the name of it is, I haven't looked at this book in a long time, but I think the name of it was Beginner's Books for Chakras. So it was laid out really, really simple. But I'll go home. I have things to do right after I get through with class, so it'll be later this evening. But I'll text you a picture of that book and who writes it so you can get it for yourself.
okay, because like you said, we're not studying religion. We're studying our bodies, and that's the focus that I wanted to keep on. A lot of books cover the religion of it, India too. So, okay, great. Thank you. I'd appreciate that. And
Okay.
thank you for all you do.
Well, thank you for being part of the class. Okay, Pam, I see you have your little hand up. I like that little hand.
Hello. I'm going to ask you a question that's similar to what Susan just asked. Is there any like books on astrology that would be important to read that would help to understand that whole concept better? I mean, I have been looking at it a little bit, I'm a Capricorn and some of the things that make me a Capricorn and some of my attitudes and my ways of being, but I would like to study a little deeper of the effects to the planets and all that other stuff, because exactly what you were talking about, the right time of the day and stuff to do any kind of meditation that would help, So do you happen to have a book that would be important? I've looked several times on Amazon trying to figure out what would be a good book to read, and I just sort of couldn't decide.
Okay, yes, because there's a lot of books out there.
Yeah.
I do have some in my bookshelf. I haven't picked them up for a long time, so kind of like I told Susan, I'll go home tonight and I'll look through them after I send off her thing and see if I can find one that would be good for you.
Okay, thank you. Good.
Because when you get into those books, they can really be over your head, because if you're not. Okay, what is that, Rodney? Just open it up and say.
Chakras for beginners. Is that it? It shows a picture of someone sitting with the chakra lights going up their body. Says it's a bestseller.
Well, I don't know if I had that one. I would have to look. But what I was going to tell you is when you start getting into the astrologer stuff, if you're not really well in tuned and with the wisdom and understanding of what all that is, it can confuse you. So you don't want to, you want to get a book that's like really eases you into it instead of just throws all this stuff at you and you go, what? What? Oh, I can't do this. And then you shut the book and put it on your bookshelf. You know,
Yes.
and there's a lot of books out there like that. So, like I said, that one that Rodney has books for beginners. I don't know if I have that, but you want to start something. You want to get one that's like simple. You know, that doesn't throw out a lot of information at one time that will confuse you, but will start you on a slow system, kind of like what I'm doing with this class, so it doesn't overwhelm people, you know, but it gets you to looking at other things.
Yeah. I've learned a little bit, you know, when you talk about what sign you were born under, your sun sign, you know, whether it was Capricorn, Libra, you know, all those Pisces, that they affect your personality and how you respond to life and everything else, you know, because I've I've looked into that a little bit, but the alignment of the planets and all that other stuff and the stars, that's where I get sort of lost.
Well, yeah, see, that's part of the medicine wheel going up into the universe, you know, because we're in a circle and everything is connected. So if you was to place it in the circle, all of that would be in the circle connected at some point, you know, to show you how it all works. And I'm sure there's a chart or something about that in the universe here somewhere. I haven't got it. But, but yes, when you start learning that everything's connected, that's a sign that you're growing, because you're learning about your body, you're learning about your chakras, and it's going to send you into the universal structures, which is the astral plane, you know, and your chart, because it's all connected, you know. And like we have a set of rules or instructions, okay, that we have to abide by because we're on planet Earth. So are there like 12 universal laws, you know, that I talked about. These are all what the energy frequencies have to go through, like doorways to get to us. And so when you really start learning how it all connects, that's great wisdom. That's great knowledge. And when you start doing that, that's how you're going to know and see your path clearly, because you're going to have all that knowledge to fall back on. You're not going to have to ask somebody, oh, you know, because you've done the work yourself. And that's what's going to make you grow into who you're supposed to be. It's a wonderful journey that we're on, you know, and you have to decide that you want to take that journey, because it does take away from other things. You know, it takes away from the worldly things. It takes away from, hey, you want to go bowling tonight? No, I'm going to sit here and work on my chakras tonight. You know, a lot of people are going to look at you like you're crazy when you tell them that. But it's because they're going on the worldly side. You know, you're going on the inside and finding out about yourself. So it's quite interesting. It's an adventure that we're on, and it's such a beautiful adventure when you start realizing that you're on an adventure. Okay. And if you look at it as an adventure, you never know what you're going to get, because there's many treasures out there you can open up, and there's many sour chests out there that you can open up too. You know, it's just kind of like playing a video game, you know, and you're going to the next level, and here's your chest. Let's go open it up, see what's in it. Oh, this is full of bombs and stuff I'm going to fall into, and chains that can trap me. Oh, I don't want to get in this, you know. But it's just funny the way it's made. And humor, laughter is the best medicine. that you can have to get through anything. You know, as long as you don't use it as a crutch. You know, a lot of people do. You know, take Robin, I'm gonna use Robin Williams. You know, he was so, caused so many people to laugh because he was so funny and everything. But look down deep inside how his own thoughts and everything had made him so sad. But he didn't show that to nobody, did he? He struggled with that you know, by himself. And there's a lot of people that do that. But what we're trying to do is bring it out and show people that you don't have to be by yourself anymore. There's a lot of people that's wanting to learn this stuff, and it's okay not to know it. But it's a lot of hard work. We're in school. We're going to school. And it's not about getting an F or getting an A. It's just, are you going to go to school and learn this and really use this? Because these are tools to go in your toolbox. You know, I used to tell people this 20 years ago when I was teaching. Hey, here's you an invisible tool chest. I'm giving to you right now, and I'm going to give you some invisible tools to put in it. Now, I want you to use these tools. I don't want you to just carry the toolbox around. But I watched this girl for 19 years carry this toolbox around. And the ones that have been with me for that long know the person that I'm referring to. But she never took none of the toolbox. She never took none of the tools out. And the tools were, hey, you have this chakra right here, and if you're doing this, it's showing you need to work on this chakra. But she never take that tool out to do it. But when you talk to her, she'd go, oh, I know that. Yeah, I know that. Until one day I finally told her, I said, well, yes, I know that you know that because you've been walking with me for 19 years. You should know it. You know, and I just asked her one day, when are you going to start using it? When are you going to start looking at it? You know, and she couldn't answer me that, you know. And I wasn't saying it to, you know, be mean to her or nothing. It was just, you know, you can have all this information in front of you, but you got to get out and use it. You got to look for yourself. You got to find the answers for yourself, and it takes a lot of work. And so if if the outside world is dragging you into that stuff, you're going to be off kilter, you know, because they want us out here. They don't want us going here. They want us out here playing. Because the more you're out here, you're trapped. When you get here, you find freedom. You know, so that's how I'm going to lead the class too. So let's go. Elizabeth, have you been doing the affirmations? So tell me what you've been feeling from doing them.
I've been starting my affirmations before I get out of bed in the morning, which, excuse me, which sets my mindset for the day, which I found to be really, really helpful. Because usually I'm sitting there going, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, blah, 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 blah. And it kind of puts a downer on the day before I even get out of bed. So I've been really working on gratitude and prayer and the affirmations all the way from my root chakra all the way up. And intentionally starting with the root chakra and Mother Earth and moving up. You know, I might not always be in order and in right or whatever, but whatever comes to me at the time. And then it doesn't take very long. It just takes a couple minutes, really. And then, you know, I feel like, oh, okay, I'm up. However, I didn't do that this morning, and so I've been like dragging this morning. So yeah, I've been able to tell the difference.
That's wonderful.
And then I've also been practicing the same thing at night for my night sleep and my night journey, to be in balance that way as well.
That's really great. And I'm glad you can tell a difference. Leo and Colleen have been doing it too, and I'm gonna let them talk about it because they've seen a big difference on doing it, the affirmations and stuff. So it's all you.
Mute, or you're gonna get feedback.
Okay, there we go. So, yeah, we feel, at least speak for myself, those affirmations just make you feel good. I can tell just, I mean, it's hard to describe really. You just feel better. So, Colleen?
Subconsciously, I think it makes the day go much better. And I think I'm able to cope with little issues that come up a little bit better instead of freaking out. What else?
I think that's it, huh? Okay.
Well, I did. I did cut off my sound and everything. That was good though. See what they learned and what they're experiencing. Yes, Romney.
I raised my hand.
Yes, you did.
Haven't been doing those particular affirmations, but I have been doing affirmations for years. I mirror work. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. No idea. Can't hear you, Shahoan.
And then,
Yeah.
you hear that? No, that doesn't affect me, I think. Just put it back on.
Sorry, we got. So please repeat what you were saying.
I was just saying that I do affirmations. I've been doing them for years. I haven't been reading those 75. I do mirror work as well. And I start every morning with a gratitude prayer and end every night. The way I look at it, if we're not happy with what we have, why on earth would Creator give us more? Gratitude to me is the highest expression of love. So, but I've been rebuked. We'll start those affirmations.
Well, yes, because look, this can happen too without us being aware of it. So pay close attention. Not that I'm saying this is happening to you, but when you become, when you gather all this knowledge and you start having this wisdom and clarity and everything, and hey, I got to do these affirmations and everything, it could become a pattern and a cycle. And so it becomes repetitive. So when you're doing them, you're actually not in your third eye centered and actually focused on the affirmations because you've been doing them for so long that it just becomes something that you do and it's repetitive. So you have to make sure that you don't get into that type of cycle, so maybe shorten your affirmations down to like 3 a day and really focus on the affirmations when you say them, and so that you don't get into that entrapment, because that's really is an entrapment that I've met. I have met some people that do that, that have done that, and very disciplined. You know, they're very disciplined in their awakening moments to, you know, to do purposely these things, but because it became such a pattern for them, they weren't acknowledging it in their mind right. They were doing it on the physical level, but it wasn't getting connected because it had become such a pattern. And they say, oh yes, I did that this morning. So really check into your third eye and focus and pay attention, and so that does not happen to you. So cut yours down to 3. You don't need 75 a day. You know, none of us really have to have 75 a day. When I threw the 75 affirmations up there, it was just one that I found that was really good with affirmations to give like us an overview of what affirmations could be for you. But pick out your own affirmations that are good for you, you know, and you'll know, your spirit will tell you how many affirmations you need to do. Your spirit will tell you how long you need to meditate every day. The more that you do that, you know, and you know, prayers, when you say prayers, you can get into a pattern too where you're not really linking up with your prayers because it's become a normal thing that you do every day. So you're just saying it out of your mouth. Oh, it's time for me to say my prayers, but you're not connecting up here. So you know, always remember that that is your sacred time with Creator. And even if it's only for 5 minutes, you want to make sure that you're connected for those 5 minutes to have that energy connection. You'll see what I'm saying. Sherry, have you tried them? We can't stay on here very much longer because people are waiting for the room, but
Okay.
we'll try to make it really
Good
short.
morning, Joan.
Good
I
morning.
misunderstood. I thought you wanted us to do that particular one, and I couldn't find the link at first. So Rodney just sent it. So now I have the link again. Well, he sent it through email, but I couldn't find it in my email.
Gotcha.
And then, so he just sent it another way, and then I have it. So no, I haven't been doing them, but I
Okay.
wanted to.
And
I've been
that's
wanting
okay.
to, but I'm glad to hear. I'm like, phew, what a relief! I don't have to do that many because I
Yeah.
thought you wanted us to do all of those, that particular one.
No.
Okay, good.
I just want you to do a few every day for 28 days. And in 28 days, we're going to come back and talk about it because, like I said, Leo and Colleen, they're already seeing a difference. You know, and I know Elizabeth, like she says, she's seeing a difference because she's doing it in the morning time and then right before she goes to sleep. It's going to affect each buddy in a different way. But affirmations are good, and because they're just like giving gratitude, you know, you got to give it back to yourself, and you've got to claim it for yourself too. So yay.
I wanted to share this with you. So I found this. This is from my cabinet. This is I'm trying to hold it up where you can see it. This is a pine nut.
Oh, okay.
So this pine nut, it's the nut of the pine tree. And this is supposed to be the size of our pineal gland.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And so they govern our circadian rhythm. So it's for us to be able to sleep. And the So that area governs all, the pineal gland is for our cycles of the day and how we function. And our pituitary goes over all our hormone functions.
Mhm. And see,
Yeah.
since you know all of that, we should have you do a class on that.
I was just
Because-
sharing that part because so
But-
people can understand the importance of what you're teaching.
Yes, because see, that is part of the third eye. That is part of what the third eye does. Because it governs over those two glands. So it would be really good for you to do a class. Would you like to do a class on that?
I don't know how much more you want me to share on that, but I think that was enough.
And if anybody wants to understand what she was saying, you'll have to go back and look at the class once Rodney loads it up on YouTube. But yes, that's a part of researching, because the pituitary and the pineal gland, they have big jobs to do for us. They really do. But we got to go. And so Rodney, would you like to give the closing prayer? And next week, y'all, we're gonna be on the crown chakra. And that's gonna be amazing in itself. We've done the whole chakra system. Woo. I
Thank you,
love each and
Shelley.
every one of y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Oh, and by the way, Dottie says she's sorry she couldn't take this, she couldn't make it to this class. She's sorry she's been missing class, but she's been having a lot of doctor's appointments, and for some reason they're getting scheduled, during this time. But she'll be back with us as soon as she can get the times rescheduled away from this time frame.
All right, I'll close. Father Sky, Mother Earth, all our ancestors, all our relatives, we call upon you at this time and we thank you. We thank you for this opportunity to be part of this most sacred circle. We thank you for the wisdom that you've allowed to flow through your sister Shahawin, that teaches us and reaches our hearts and helps us to change our very lives for our better. We thank you for the lesson. We thank you for our brothers and sisters in this circle. And we ask, Most High, Most Divine, that you watch over each of us during this week, protect each of us, guide each of us, and help us to apply these teachings that we're learning to our lives. We thank you for this day. Please watch over us. We love you. Aho.
Aho. I love each and every one of you. See next week. Elizabeth, I'll call you later this evening, okay?